What is up, everybody? Welcome into episode 47 of the Brahma Bullpen, the episode where we're going to talk about beating the number one team in spring football freaking history, folks. The Ponies came down to San Antonio, came down to the cow pasture, and left with the big old fat L. Let's go, Brahmas, baby. Our defense was locked in, shut down. Best defensive performance by far of the season. None of the defenders had crazy huge stats, right? There was not someone that had 50 tackles or someone that had 9 or 10 sacks. There was nothing super crazy that happened in the game. It's just Adrian Martinez was contained. He only passed for 200 yards. He didn't kill us with the deep balls. We were where we needed to be, when we needed to be there to make the plays that we need to play. We gave up 3 points in the first half, folks. That's the first time in the franchise history that the Stallions have existed where they've only scored 3 points in the first half. They've always scored more than that in the first half of a football game. And they come to the second half only giving up another 6 points for a total of 9 points. Crazy. Absolutely crazy, man. I don't even know what words I could say, to make you think or try to get the point across here on how wild it was for our defense to shut them down like that. If you watch me on social media, if you follow me on Twitter, you saw that your boy Brahma Bullpen was fortunate enough. I don't even know what happened, but I went to the fan event this past Friday before the game at the Andretti Racetrack, indoor go-kart, video game, bowling alley, food place, booze place, whatever, mecca of fun here in San Antonio. And I got chosen to actually get on the racetrack with some players. Brad Wing was there. We had Puka Williams was racing with me on the track. Morgan Ellison was on the track racing with me. AJ Smith was on the track. Just to name a few, man. There was a whole bunch of them. But reason I bring that up, I had to brag a little bit. I got to brag a little bit, But I also got to meet Cody Latimer for the first time. I'm going to do a whole episode on that probably when the season ends. We saw that he did get injured over the weekend, which is very, very, very sad, especially for somebody who is saying this was going to be his last year playing football. You'd like to see a player of his magnitude go out on his terms. But I'm going to do a whole episode on just Latimer later in the year to show my appreciation for what he did for me. I don't know if you can look over my shoulder right here and see this football right here. But just on a random social media post, Latimer responded to me, and that football is now my prized possession. You can see I have other memorabilia. Everything in that case is autographed by somebody. But that football right there is autographed by the entire football team. And so I'm going to do an episode about that when the season's over. Right now we're going to focus on football. And to get us started in reviewing the beatdown in the dome, them Ponies took that L down here in the cow pasture. Let's start the video like we always do with a couple of GIFs. This one was posted by Brahma social media. We all know this episode of The Office, right? I'm not the only one that watches The Office. Ooh, we're going to have an undefeated season. Think so? You think so? Gone. Yeah, gone. We got another little one right here for you. As you can see in the bullpen, maybe over here, you can see a little something there. The other half of my man cave that you can't see is all comic book theme. So this is an appropriate GIF that producer put together here.
That's my secret, Cat. I'm always angry.
Yeah. I remember when that movie came out, man. That was so epic, right? You had all these individual movies all combined to this giant Avengers movie, and then have such epic destruction scenes like that in there. Anyways, thanks, producer, for putting that together. Got me right here in my little heart. You can see this week, talk about heart. I'm representing. I got my Brahma swag on. This is a free shirt they gave us when we got on the field this past weekend. Watch social media. You might see some pictures of that. But we got to get down on the field after. It was almost like a college atmosphere where we stormed the field. But it wasn't a field storming. They let all season ticket members on the field for a giant photo after we beat Birmingham because it was the last home game of the season, theoretically, unless we win next week. That'll be preview episode stuff. But It was our guaranteed last home game of the season. We might get another one, but it was the last one that was guaranteed to us. So it let us all on the field and have a little fun. So I got my Commander swag on from back in the day, RIP Commanders, and I got my Brahma swag on. So, I'm doing representing spring football in San Antonio. But with that being said, here are the scores from the weekend for the league in general. The defenders finally started playing some football. Jordan Tomo finally started throwing some good passes. The receivers finally started catching balls. Although when they played us, they made like a bunch of circus catches. So I don't know why everybody's like they're just now playing offense. But they beat the Showboats. It probably has something to do with how bad the Showboats are. Panthers Roughnecks. The Panthers beat the Roughnecks, but the game was in question all the way into the fourth quarter. And as a matter of fact, the Roughnecks led most of the game, and they found a way of, what's the old saying, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. And then we get to the good games of the weekend. Renegades, Battlehawks, 36-22. Renegades got that dub, second dub of the season. Understand that the Renegades beating the Battlehawks has really opened the door for the Brahmas. So I appreciate you guys doing that. I know we beat Arlington twice this year. But, I appreciate the Renegades doing their thing. And, of course, you got the Stallions and the Brahmas 18-9. I'll tell you, when I was racing go-karts with A.J. Smith before and around and at the fan event the other day, I talked to him a little bit. And I said, hey, man, how many points do you think the Brahmas need to score to beat the Stallions? Like, just what are you looking for from an offensive production? And we were talking 28 to 30 points. That's what he was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Not that I know anybody or know anything. I was just thinking Birmingham was that good, and we needed to have our highest scoring output of the season. To go in there and win with only scoring 18 points is absolutely amazing. Plus, we got Chase Garbers back in the game. We're getting healthy. Offense starting to look smoother. Defense is starting to look like world beaters. So, with that being said, here's the current updated standings in the league. I did not switch the St. Louis and Battlehawks teams there. I did that on purpose because I wanted to make fun of myself. No, that's not true. Brahmas to the top, baby. Let's go. Brahmas have 2 conference losses. St. Louis only has 1 conference loss. 2 of their losses are out of conference. So technically, unless we beat them Saturday, they'll get home field advantage. That's why I did it like that. But then you see DC and Arlington down there doing their thing. Birmingham got that 8-1. Suckers take that L. And then Michigan 7-2, Memphis 2-7, and Roughnecks 1-8. Poor Roughnecks. One graphic I do want to pop up here. I've kind of been keeping this all year. So you can see the USFL went 7-9. That means the XFL went 9-7. So if it comes down to which conference is better, it's very simple. The XFL beat the USFL more than the USFL beat the XFL. There, settled on the field. This coming week is going to be all division games. There's not going to be any cross-conference games. So this is it. This is for the season. And if you look on there, the Brahmas went undefeated against the USFL. That's right. You heard me. The Brahmas beat every USFL team. So what does that tell you? That the Brahmas are better than every team in the USFL. I don't care what nobody says, right? That's just the way that it is. With that, let's get into some highlights. First thing we're going to do is show this early on in the game, this huge catch by Cody Latimer, and also the illegal hit that made him miss the rest of the game. Hopefully not the rest of the season.
Here's Dormady, who played his high school ball, and Bernie just up the road. And last season with Orlando, that was his dude, Cody Latimer. He makes the catch for 25 yards, and we have a flag.
Yeah. I think he was obviously going down. You know, it's a fast game, and I don't like to say someone was trying to do something dirty. All I know is it ended up being dirty. And a great player is now questionable to be able to finish out his career this season on his own terms. Who knows, right? The rumor is, if you watch the broadcast on TV, they talked about it a whole bunch of time, that this was going to be his last year playing pro football, and he wants to get into coaching, which I think would be awesome. I definitely know he could teach some young people how to run routes for a fact, right? But very next play, check this out.
And A.J. Smith, the offensive coordinator, says his presence on how to be a professional.
Double pass, complete, Justin Smith! For the second time, Jontre Kirkland throws A pass touchdown.
I'll tell you what, man, that was a roller coaster of a few minutes, right? I talked about the ball a little bit, and I got to meet Latimer the night before the game, and you see him get hurt, and you're upset. You're kind of sad. You feel bad for him. You feel bad for the rest of the team. You feel bad for the rest of the fans. It's just like, man, we're in a playoff push, big game, and then, boom, very next play, trick play. Kirkland passes it to Justin Smith. Which is even more crazy is listen to the post-game little interview after the game with this pass, speaking about this play specifically. Check this out.
John Trey, I want to give you your passing stats in your spring football career. Three of 4, 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. What's that all about?
That's pretty good right there. I like that. What that 75%?
Yeah, 1 last year and 2 this year.
Pretty good right there. I got another touchdown pass. I'm happy about that.
Was that all about Cody Latimer going down? Did you guys feel
definitely.
motivation?
So we had a play call. It was originally Dr. Pepper, and Coach AJ said, bump this. We go call it Cody Latimer. So we did that for Cody, and that kind of got us a little juice right there.
If you don't think these players are emotionally invested in these games, man, I don't know where you've been. Maybe sometimes in the NFL, it's all about the money. But in spring football, it's about the team. It's about the love of the sport. It's about the opportunity that playing in spring football provides. One of your guys go down, one of your leaders go down. They immediately call like a trick play, and then they're calling it the Cody Latimer. And you don't think that Kirkland and Justice Smith wanted that? I mean, they were gonna do what they had to do to make that play, and it showed, man. What an awesome deal! What an awesome thing to be able to be a part of. Thank you to whoever that reporter was that posted that. I got that off Brahma's social media. I don't know who asked that question, but what a great question, and what an awesome deal for the fans to be a part of. So thank you guys, everybody who's involved in that, very much. Brahmas just fought hard all game. Can't show all the highlights from the whole game, but we're not going to get out of here without showing the best highlight of the game.
Pressure. Martinez. How did he do it again? Throwing middle of the field. Picked off. Tease Tabor could have just put an end to the 15-game winning streak.
Tabor is one of those guys that has been filling in since Phillips got hurt and kind of going in and out of the lineup. He's also one of the guys that's gotten burned a few times here and there, so it's awesome to see him making a great play to ice the game against the league MVP. We all know Adrian Martinez is going to get that MVP trophy. It was just a big win that our defense, you wish you could pick the whole defense as player of the game and just be like, just give it to the defense, man. Our team is defensive-led. Our offense does what it has to do to win the game. Another thing, if you don't think this game was big, check out another post from Chase Garbers after the game. And watch for the photo bomb coming there at the end.
Brahmas Nation, huge win, taking down the Stallions here in the Alamo Dome. Excited for next week, excited for the playoffs. Go Brahmas.
My boy Alex in there getting that little dub shout in. Way to go, guys. But just to talk about the defense a little bit, you can see how everybody was excited. Everybody wanted to beat the Birmingham Stallions, right? But when the season started, Wade Phillips at a pep rally fan event in the Dome, he said he wanted to have the number 1 defense in the UFL, right? And you looked at the you looked at the Stallions and you looked at the Battlehawks, and we knew that they had good teams. Even the Michigan Panthers have had a really strong defense. If you watched any of that Michigan Panthers game over the weekend, that guy Speaks, man, on the D-line was just up in everything, man, doing what he had to do. But the number 1 scoring defense in the league lives down here in the cow pasture, down here in the Alamo Dome. If you look at this graph here, we've given up a total of 140 points through 9 weeks. That's 15.5 points per game, and that's first in the league. I will tell you, we got a game coming up against the Battlehawks this week, and if you look at all those scores, the only time where I feel like we gave up too many points was week 3 versus the Battlehawks here in the Alamo Dome. So, it's not going to be easy. this weekend, locking up home field advantage. But make no doubt about it, the Brahmas want home field advantage. Wade Phillips has the goal of having home field advantage, and he wants this defense to be ranked number 1. So there's still work to be done. But so far, they're doing the work that Wade Phillips wants them to do. If our offense can score 25 points, I think we're pretty much unbeatable because you're not going to score over 20 on us. Look at those scores, 12, 19, 9, 15, 18, 12, 15, 9. Okay? We just need to score 25 because you ain't going to score more than 20. That's all there is to it. Let's look at some of the stats from the game this past weekend. Week 9 stats, of course, you see the final score 18-9. Brahma's now 7-2. The Ponies are now 8-1. And yes, I can call them the Ponies now because we beat them Ponies. Come on, let's go. A little wet my whistle there. A little wet my whistle out here in the cow pasture. Before I go any further, if you're still here, please like, share, subscribe. You know, we're starting to get some good footing on YouTube. We're starting to get interaction. I had some fans come by the tailgate this past weekend. We had some drinks, played some cornhole. Appreciate all you guys showing up. Thanks for having fun with us. And then we even got down on the field all together after the game too, so that was awesome, man. We had a lot of fun. But like, share, subscribe. Look us up, United Football Media, at SA Brahma Bullpen on the socials. But we got the stats here. Brahma scored 3 touchdowns to Birmingham's 1. There you go, right? What else do you need to know? Field goals, 0 for 1 for us. 1 for 1 for them. 70% completion percentage. That is Chase Garber's completion percentage. Dormady left the game after the first 3 possessions. He had a 75% completion percentage. Kirkland threw 1 pass and was for a touchdown, so he had a 100% completion percentage. But I did want to pad the stats by including those, even though overall it did add to our completion percentage, right? But Chase Garber's had a 70% completion percentage in his first game back. You look over at Birmingham, Adrian Martinez had a 56% completion percentage. That's big. Right? He didn't throw the ball well against us, and he damn sure didn't run the ball well against us. Overall passing yards for the two teams, 202 to 200. Rushing yards, we had 132, 3.8 yards per carry. That's just right in that sweet spot. You don't want it no lower. If it's higher, that's great, but, 3.5 to 4 yards a carry, that's where you want it to be. McFarland and Ellison were doing great things running the ball. McFarland did a lot of the yardage work, whereas Ellison got those 2 touchdowns. Great effort and performances on their behalf. You got 92 yards at 5.2 yards per carry for the Stallions. You know that's all because of Adrian Martinez and those unscripted runs that he always gets out of the pocket. So we were actually able to keep their running backs in check pretty well throughout this game. Third down conversions, we went 5 of 11. They went 3 of 10. Red zone, we went 2 of 3. They went 1 of 2. If I would have told you going into this game that the Stallions were only going to have 2 red zone attempts, quote-unquote best team in spring football history, and I said, hey, man, we're going to hold them to under 10 points, and they're only going to get in the red zone twice? Dude, what more defensive domination do you need to see? Our front 7, our secondary, it doesn't matter, dude. Everybody was where they needed to be the whole game. I mean, we did what we had to do. The Brahmas did what they had to do. Penalties, there were already Birmingham people saying it was ref ball. Ref ball. I mean, I watched the game a couple times on TV. I was obviously there live. I don't know what the heck they're talking about, man. I truly feel like our defense was better than their offense. I feel like our offense was equal to their defense. And that's why we won the game, right? Penalties were not a factor in this game. Got some more stats right here. Turnovers, 1-1. Points off turnovers, 0-0. Look, we both had 3 sacks. We had 5 tackles for loss. They had 6. Time of possession was nearly equal. We had 32-11. They were 27-49. Look at the 3 and outs. We had a 3 and out. They had a 3 and out. Look at the balance. We had 28 passing plays to 33 rushing plays. They were a little unbalanced. It's like maybe they were behind the whole game. They were throwing it to try to catch up, right? But 32 passes to 15 runs. You got to maintain that balance, baby. But Brahmas did what they had to do. 18-9. Let's go Brahmas, baby. Beat the number 1 team in the league. Let's go. A little bit more league action. I don't know if this is something I want to brag about, but the Brahmas led the league in attendance this past weekend. Oh, man. At some point, people, they talk about the attendance and that you shouldn't. It's not the metric you want to look at. You want to look at TV ratings, and you don't need attendance to be profitable, and blah 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 blah. Look, man, 11,839 with playoff home field advantage on the line, with the best team in the league coming to the Dome. The last game of the season, there was stuff on the radio, there was stuff on the news. They had the players here like an extra 2 or 3 days, visiting schools and doing all this extra publicity that they hadn't done all year, trying to drum up support. They did a military appreciation day. They gave away free T-shirts to anybody that bought a ticket. I mean, dude, I don't know what else. Somebody was, saying on social media that they had to have a full-time team in San Antonio and a full-time marketer. Look, man, they did enough to market this game. At some point, we're just going to have to realize that maybe San Antonio's got things that they want to do besides go to a football game. And what's going to ultimately happen, that's going to be what costs the rest of us, right? We hear talk about NFL, talk about right now the thing in San Antonio, they're running stupid polls to see if the Kansas City Chiefs are coming here. Look stupid. The Kansas City Chiefs aren't coming here. They'd be better off going to St. Louis. I mean, it's closer. There's a stadium, and people go to those games. If you were the Kansas City Chiefs and for some astronomical reason decided to leave Kansas City, which is not happening, it's all a giant ploy, and they're using other teams with other cities with stadiums as a bargaining chip to get what they want. They're going to get what they want. They're not leaving. They might move a little bit one direction or the other, but they're going to still be the Kansas City Chiefs, if you know what I'm saying. But, at some point it's on you. Memphis, it's the same thing, right? Daryl Johnson was out this past week talking about he's guaranteeing Memphis is pretty much coming back in that market next year. I don't think they're going to move any of the teams next year. Not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if you don't start seeing significant increases and the teams don't start making money, they will move them. They have to, right? And when they sell them, whoever buys them is going to want to move them. And that's it, man. As always, we're going to end it with a little bit of our Player of the Week stats. So here we go. We got Jonte Kirkland was our Player of the Week. 4 receptions, 66 yards, led the team in receiving. And he also had a passing touchdown. He led the team in passing touchdowns because our quarterbacks didn't do any passing touchdowns. So there's that. Appreciate you for watching our Player of the Week. And we're going to go ahead and get out of here with a horns forward. Let's go, Brahmas. Don't forget, we got a preview episode coming up. We've got a very special guest in our preview episode dropping on Thursday this week where we break down the Battlehawks game. Let's go, baby. Live from the Cowpatcher. Horns forward. Let's go, Brahmas.